In the 2010s, the NBA was filled with many great point guards, with names such as Steph Curry, Russell Westbrook, Chris Paul, and Kyrie Irving, just to name a few. But among those greats lies someone who was pretty good at his craft as well, which some of you guys may or may not have forgotten about. I'm talking about Kemba Walker. Known for his deadly crossover and scoring ability, Kemba Walker had a pretty solid career during his time in the NBA. He was a 4-time All-Star, a 1-time All-NBA third-team selection, and is currently the all-time scoring leader for the Charlotte Hornets. Kemba is also the only Hornets player from the 2010s to ever become an All-Star, which is something Hornets fans shouldn't really be proud of. But before Kemba was breaking ankles in the NBA, he was responsible for having one of, if not the greatest, championship run in NCAA history. And it all started 12 years ago in 2011, when the UConn Huskies finished with a record of 21-9 in the regular season, which is good enough for them to rank number 19 in the nation. UConn, led by Kemba, went on to have a 9-9 record in conference play and was ranked as the 9th seed in their respective conference. This was very crucial for Kemba and his team, since just like in the NBA, only the top 8 seeds would get first-round byes. As a result, UConn would need to win 5 straight games to win the Big East tournament. UConn was struggling heading into the tournament, as they lost 4 of their last 5 games. They were having trouble finding help for Kemba since he's the team's only reliable scorer, and them being on the verge of elimination didn't help either. The thought of winning 5 consecutive games in a matter of 5 straight days, with no rest days, while playing for arguably the best conference in college basketball, was nothing short of a pipe dream for Kemba and his team. But luckily for them, greatness lies ahead. To open the tournament, Kemba Walker led UConn by 26 points, giving them the victory over DePaul. The same thing can be said for the next game, with Kemba leading them in scoring yet again, with 28 points against a ranked Georgetown team in a double-digit win. At this point, momentum started to pick up for UConn, giving them a lot of belief that they may be able to enter the tournament. But their toughest matchup was yet to come. In their third matchup, UConn was facing off against the Pittsburgh Panthers, who was ranked as the number 3 team in the nation and was the top seed in the Big East. The Panthers, led by their senior point guard, Brad Wanamaker, were focused on putting a stop to the then-hot Huskies, and it shows. During the game, it was a back-and-forth matchup between the two teams, and heading into the remaining seconds of the game, it was tied at 74-74, with 2 possessions left. With Kemba having the ball in his hands, he drove to his left and put up a potential game-winning floater, but missed. However, due to a crucial Coombs-McDaniel offensive rebound, they were able to call a timeout to give Kemba and the Huskies one last chance to steal the deal and make up for the missed shot. After the timeout, Kemba again, with the ball in his hands, and their season on the line, made history by hitting this remarkable shot.
Kemba Walker, step back, Walker, cardiac, Kemba does it again. UConn wins at the buzzer.
Walker ended the game with 24 points and 5 assists to lead UConn to a thrilling upset over the top-seeded Panthers. And although Walker's performance is good in itself, he didn't do it alone. Jeremy Lamb and Shabazz Napier combined for 27 points in the win. Surprisingly, the Huskies started to look like a legitimate threat. Despite the incredible win of the Panthers, there's still more work yet to be done since they're still a loss away from being eliminated from contention. And with 2 more games in their way, you have to think that things will start to take a toll on them. Fortunately, that wasn't the case for them, as Kemba Walker continued to perform incredibly in the games to come, thus earning the nickname Cardiac Kemba. In their 4th straight matchup against a loaded Syracuse team, Kemba went off not only on the offensive end of the floor, but on the defensive end as well, putting up numbers of 33 points, 12 rebounds, 6 steals, and a win in overtime. Shortly after leading the Huskies to a 3-point win with him pouring 19 points against the Louisville Cardinals in the conference title game, Kemba would then earn the Big East Tournament MVP, deservingly so, considering he was the main factor in the Huskies winning all their games. Kemba averaged 26 points in all 5 games against 4 ranked opponents, and it's even more impressive given the fact that all odds were stacked against him and the team. But as Kobe said, job's not finished, and the same can be said for Kemba and the Huskies. Things will only become more difficult for them here on out, because even after their historic run, UConn was given an unfavorable draw in the NCAA Tournament. They were given a 3 seed and were placed in the West region, which featured Duke, Michigan, and Texas. And these are just the teams they avoided. In the round of 64, Walker and his Huskies made sure to make quick work against Bucknell by blowing them out in the first round 52-81. And in the round of 32, Cardiac Kemba is in full effect, torching Cincinnati by pouring in 33 points. And he would continue that further in the Sweet 16 by putting up 36 points against Kawhi Leonard's San Diego Aztecs with 22 of those points coming from the second half. Kemba and his Huskies team looked pretty impressive, and they would continue on their dominant run by beating Arizona in the Elite Eight, with Kemba scoring 20 points, and beating Kentucky in the Final Four, with Kemba putting up 18 points. Now, heading into the national championship game, UConn met a Brad Stevens-led Butler team, who ironically were also on a Cinderella run of their own. In a low-scoring game, Walker managed to put up 16 points as the Huskies claimed a 53-41 victory in their third national title overall. The Huskies won their last 11 games en route to winning the 2011 national championship, and much of it was due to Walker's insane performance. The undersized guard averaged 23.5 points, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists during the NCAA Tournament play and was named the most outstanding player of the tournament. It capped off a remarkable year for Kemba, who had already won the Bob Cousy Award for college basketball's top point guard in the country. A few months later, after adding his incredible run in the NCAA Tournament to his resume, Kemba would then get drafted to the Charlotte Hornets with the 9th pick of the NBA draft. Kemba helped the Hornets make the playoffs twice, which is a huge accomplishment in itself at the time, if we're all being honest here. And soon after his stint with Charlotte was done, Boston acquired Kemba in exchange for Terry Rozier. Boston at the time lost their superstar point guard in Kyrie Irving, and as a result, pulled off the trade in need of a veteran point guard to lead the team of a young Celtics. Kemba would have a pretty solid first year for the Celtics. He even managed to make an all-star team in his first year there. But little did he know that his career would start to go downhill after his knee injuries continued to get worse, which caused a significant drop in his numbers on the court. After just 2 years with the Celtics, he got traded to his hometown of New York, where a lot of Knicks fans were hyped at first. But knowing that this isn't the same Kemba Walker that they witnessed in UConn hurts for Knicks fans to see. Eventually, his stay with New York didn't last that long, as injuries continued to bug him mid-season, and as a result, he was traded during the 2022 draft to the Pistons in exchange for a future unprotected first-round pick. We wouldn't hear from Kemba for a while until 4 months later, when he got signed to the Dallas Mavericks on a 1-year non-guaranteed deal. Just like any other team before that, he immediately got waived after just 9 games. And on July 24th, 2023, he got signed to AS Monaco to play in the EuroLeague, which he still plays for to this day. Despite the ups and downs of Kemba's basketball career, one thing we can't deny is the fact that his college run was legendary and will forever live on in college basketball history. Do you think Kemba has the greatest run in college history, or is there someone else you have in mind? Please comment down below to let us know. And don't forget to subscribe to Hoop Pulse, as well as click that bell icon for more videos just like this one.